Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and for today's video, I wanted to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and what investors are specifically doing with their Bitcoin. Now, we start here on the CNBC story saying that Binance is seeing a slight increase in withdrawals, but otherwise, it's business as usual, according to CZ or Changpeng Zhao. All right. So that's one important thing that investors are doing right now. If we go and we take a look at the Bitcoin Exchange Reserve, what we can see here is that there has been a massive plunge in the Bitcoin Exchange Reserve. So this Exchange Reserve number tells us basically how many Bitcoins are held on exchanges. And if we take a look at the price, we can see that it coincides perfectly with the massive drop that we've seen earlier in November. So what that tells me is that investors are taking their Bitcoin off of exchanges. And I think that's good practice because with all of these bankruptcies this year that we've had, and especially with the exchange bankruptcies, many investors are just not taking the risks anymore, and they're moving their funds to their own wallets. And if we take a look at the exchange outflow here, and so what you have for the exchange outflow is these green bars here at the bottom represent how much total Bitcoin is flowing from the exchanges. All right, and we can go ahead and see that in the start of November, again, around the time of that huge price drop, a massive number of Bitcoins are flowing out of the exchanges. Okay, so this is a level that we have not seen in quite some time. We back it out and take a look here. This level here is enormous. Every now and then you get these big spikes. It was a big June spike. That was the previous drop that we saw. There's one here in May. That was another big spike. And then, of course, there's also this massive spike that happened in September as well. And we can see all those correspond with huge price drops. Okay. Now, where are those Bitcoin going? They're going to active addresses. And we take a look at the Bitcoin active addresses, we can see a big spike in the number of active addresses just in the past 2 weeks. I mean, just look at how gigantic this spike is. Zoom in here a little bit, we can see it went all the way from a low here of about 878,000 all the way up to about 991,000. Okay, so that's a pretty big increase here, largely based on the falling of the Bitcoin price. So the investors are moving their funds away from exchanges and into these active addresses. And as you can see over time, this is a trend that has played out since Bitcoin's adoption, since its early creation. We've seen all of these active addresses increase in numbers over about 10 years or so. And that is exactly what we would expect to see if we see also an increase in adoption. So we also have the Bitcoin wallet sizes that are greater than 1 Bitcoin, again, spiking massively. Again, taking a look at this, we can zoom in here. We can see that that fall also led to a higher number of addresses that have at least 1 Bitcoin. So investors are taking this opportunity to buy and stack sats. It went all the way down here from 910,000 up to 938,000. And I would definitely recommend anyone who's interested, come take a look at these charts. They are very important because they show the evolution of the Bitcoin addresses all the way down here from lowly 55,000 and up to almost 935,000, soon to be, I think, almost 1 million addresses that hold at least 1 Bitcoin. Okay, so we have whales that are stacking. We also have smaller addresses that are stacking as well. In fact, if we go over here and take a look at the charts, we can take a look at the whales with at least 100 Bitcoin or so, and that's kind of leveled off a little bit because it's difficult to gather up that many Bitcoin at once. But if you take a look at the 10, you can see here that based on 10, we have another big uptick. All right, so I guess you could call them the minnows or the fish or the whatever you want to call them, and the whales are all stacking sats right now, and I also happen to be stacking sats as well. I am pulling personally, I'm pulling my Bitcoin off the exchanges as soon as possible, as soon as I am able to. That way, I reduce the downside risk and the possibility of another collapse of an exchange. Because if there's one thing that we've learned during this bear market is that it's that no crypto company is untouchable. And each one of them, if they have a bank run, could potentially become insolvent if they don't have the funds to cover it. All right, so I just wanted to put together this really quick video today just to go through what Bitcoin has been doing and what people have been doing with their Bitcoin, to also raise awareness to the fact that it's just good practice to take your Bitcoin off your exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, let me know, like, subscribe, and also follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to see you on the next video.